Today in the crypto space, we see the market taking a slight dip to the downside. Bitcoin down approximately 1.5%, give or take. Ethereum holding steady right around 2,400. However, some of the altcoins are deep in the red, like Near Protocols, SUI, IMX, and many others. We got Aptos getting a nice little bounce as well, which is not bad to see some strength. In today's video, I want to talk about the general market. I want to use Bitcoin as a leading indicator, but more importantly, I want to talk about one altcoin, one project that is also dipping down to those lower levels. And that project is called Mintlayer. So you know what? Let's talk about the news. Let's analyze the charts and let's strategize to capitalize. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mike, and let's get right into it, guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome. On the channel, we talk about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the altcoins. Looking for opportunities, whether we go up or down, bearish or bullish, it doesn't matter. All we want to do is stay one step ahead of the market so that we can capitalize on any of the volatility. And if you appreciate the strategy, subscribe to the channel, click the bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, including the live streams at 8 p.m. EST, where we talk about crypto news and price action. Guys, if you have any projects you want me to cover here on the channel, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. You can hit me up on the socials. The links are in the description. Better yet, guys, join the Discord. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. All right, guys, let's begin. Let's see what's going on here. We've seen a bit of a dip, a bit of negativity, but guess what? The market cap is fine. 2.2 trillion, and obviously a little bit higher than that. Yes, it's down 3.5%, but look at the structure. Overall, doing okay. Like, yeah, we came down a little bit, or back to the bottom of the range, or back to the previous lows, which is absolutely okay, especially if the market cap decides to go up for a higher high, guys. It's totally fine. It's something that we could definitely expect in the immediate short term is a bounce back to previous levels, right? What else do we see? Trading volume kind of stagnant, a bit of a retracement in trading volume, which means that, look, market participation is not really that more interested in than it was in before, because we did get a nice rally up with regards to trading volume. However, at the end of the day, seeing the volume kind of hesitate there without much conviction or continuation means that, the market is just taking a break. Maybe we see a continuation to the upside and we see trading volume rise, market cap rise, and action back into the market. I know a lot of us are showing a lot of patience here, while we're waiting for the market to show some life. Today was one of the, pretty much a red day, one of those days that showed a little bit of fear, uncertainty, and doubt into the market. We just got to be very, very patient in the next little while to see what happens. Ethereum going sideways, and you can see BNB showing a lot of strength. This is what I mean, guys. We have to understand that some projects are going to show strength while the market is showing a weakness. And reality is that there's not much weakness. Now, I know the lower cap altcoins, some of the projects at lower levels as far as market cap goes, could be showing some weakness. Now, just based on that idea, we have to understand the volatility in the market cap. Now, if we're going to look at the top 100, for the most part, there's not that much volatility in comparison to a micro cap, $50 million market cap and under. They're going to have a lot more volatility. So this is what we have to understand. Now, we do see, a Chainlink, kind of going sideways still, and we have many others kind of still doing their thing, like Polkadot and so on. If you look at even SUI, yes, SUI pulled back, but guys, look where SUI came from, and look big picture what SUI has been doing. So a 5% dip after a massive rally to the upside, one of the biggest rallies in a good while, guys. We can't expect a 5% correction even for profit taking. Near Protocol 2 has been doing pretty good in the last little while. Aptos is finally waking up and doing its thing. One of my regrets was not scaling into Aptos when I wanted to, which was about, I would say, 2 weeks ago. It's leaving the station without me, unfortunately. It could be hitting a bit of resistance, and if we do get a pullback, guys, I'm going to be spamming those buy orders, because Aptos does look pretty interesting to me. And I regret not scaling in, but of course we don't act upon those emotions. We wait patiently for any opportunity that we have to, make it back pretty much, right? But we have to do it with a proper risk management. Wait for the pullback. Let's find some support. Let's find a structure that we're willing to scale into and put a stop loss underneath. And let's see if the market's going to give us some strength back to the upside. As we continue down, you can see that the market is looking a bit weak, but nothing crazy, guys. OKB is looking good. Dog with Fat is still okay. Filecoin still trending. trending to the upside, and we have Mantle and many others. Okay, fine, we're pulling back in the short term, but we're still okay. I'm not too worried. Now, of course, it's all about what Bitcoin does. If Bitcoin shows a lot more weakness in the next little while, yeah, we're gonna have to get into a bearish position. We're gonna have to get into a bearish stance. But at the current moment, as you can see, we're still trending. We're still trending. We're still holding up. Quant, of course, is not doing the greatest, but you can see we're trending. We're trending. We're trending. We're trending. And as long as we're trending, and even Gala's trending, and you see we're still trending to the upside. As long as we're trending, the trend is your friend. So we have to anticipate that. At least give me a bullish response that shows me a lower high, a rejection off of previous resistance or support at an important level, right? And then after, we can come up with a plan. But at the current moment, guys, I remain neutral and bullish at the same time. Let's talk about some of these charts, guys. I know you're talking about price action. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Let's see what's going on here with Bitcoin. Bitcoin, at the end of the day, is what's causing this issue. Of course, when there's fear, uncertainty, and doubt, when there's a bit of a pullback on Bitcoin, you know, riskier assets definitely get hit. You know, big picture, we're still within structure, guys. Let's be real, we're still within structure, but the question is, what could we expect in the immediate short term with regards to volatility? Let's look at this in a bit more detail. Now, Bitcoin obviously still within the structure, nothing new here. Obviously, it's a bullish structure. It is a flag. It is you know, a broad descending, slightly broadening wedge. That's fine. It is a handle to the big cup that we've been analyzing on larger time frames. If we go on the daily, there's a lot to be said here. Of course, you know, this massive cup and handle, a lot of people are eyeballing to see this eventually break out. Do we get another capitulation event, you know, a last sweep of the lows to get people wrecked before we get that spring to the upside? Guys, that's all very, very possible, right? It's always very important to always have a bit of cash on the side just in case, right? 10% of your portfolio to be in cash at all times for opportunities is not a bad idea. However, if you're a trader, this price action really didn't give us a lot of opportunity to take profit, even on the altcoins. Yes, some of them have been doing great, and you could have gotten some opportunities there to take a little bit of profit. But reality is that we haven't been really raging. We haven't been really getting a nice move like these moves to the upside. So we're waiting patiently. Now, again, let's zoom in real quick. I don't want to spend too much time here on Bitcoin because I want to just use it as an indicator, a leading indicator, and then we're going to jump into the Mintlayer chart, because I think Mintlayer right now, there's a bit of fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Yes, it did come down approximately 10%, 11% at one point. It got a little bit of a bounce, but why is that the case? What's happening here? Now, it could be a separate catalyst with regards to Mintlayer itself. You know, an unlock could definitely cause this, and we'll talk about that in a second. But we do see that Bitcoin ultimately did break down again. It came back to where it was before, prior to this little rally to the upside. And you can see that it's potentially going to hold support again here, which is confluent with the 200 daily EMA, the orange line right below. Okay, so this is something that we have to understand. We're playing with people's emotions here, right? People buying in, selling, but getting in, thinking that it's going to run. You know, this is where the market does the best job at getting liquidity and just getting people wrecked and emotionally wrecked as well. It's not just economically, but also emotionally wrecked and distraught and giving up on the crypto space and looking the other way, picking up other hobbies, and ultimately saying, you know what, I'm done with this. Well, here on the channel, we don't do that, guys. We ultimately are going to follow through here. What we want to make sure that we do is we take risk at appropriate times. Okay, yes, right now is not bad. Do we hold support off the 200 daily? Do we finally get a spring like we've done before, get another back test confirmation, spring off of it and go for a higher high? Very possible. Very, very possible. However, it's also very possible that we continue coming down and break through this area. There's a bit of weakness right into here. As you can see, we can come down a little bit more, maybe about 60,900. The $60,500 level, as I've always watched, you know, this level is starting to hold up as a good level of support. So I'm keeping an eye on here. You know, unless we fall below $60,500, guys, I remain neutral with a bullish bias. What I mean by that is that doesn't mean, even if I'm neutral, doesn't mean that I'm going to get into major crazy positions. I'm bullish, but I'm not interested in getting active right now, right? I'm bullish, but I'm not going in and deploying fresh capital at the current moment, right? So I'm waiting to see what happens here, because I am bullish, but as soon as I find an opportunity to pounce and enter positions, I will. And that's what I'm waiting for, patiently waiting for positions to present themselves to me. I want those setups. All right, so Bitcoin, let it fall if it's going to fall. Be careful at this point. Be careful getting into any fresh longs. Wait for Bitcoin to show some support. Ultimately, DCAing is good, especially on some of those altcoins that are hitting horizontal support levels that you've been wanting to buy. For me, there are many. Guys, join me live tonight at 8 p.m. EST. We'll talk about some buy orders. If there are any projects you want me to cover, that is a great time and place for you guys to make those requests, and I'll definitely put them in priority. We'll take a look at charts. We'll look at setups. We'll look at theory and probability and all that good stuff to get us prepared for the next move to the upside. But at the current moment, we got to be very patient here because Bitcoin is pushing down. Now, just want to quickly look at the oscillators. Look, momentum is pushing down. Volatility is already fully reset. Let's wait for a momentum shift to the upside for another impulsive move so we can get overbought and trade the volatility to the upside with the momentum for a nice bullish response. We want these bulls to respond with a higher high. Let's see if they have it in them. All right, guys, let's take a look at Mintlayer. Mintlayer, at the end of the day, broke down. Now, I want to start off at big picture time frame just so that we can get an idea of what's happening. Let's consolidate the daily real quick, and you can see that, you know, generally speaking, there are a lot of people that took profit here, including myself. Profit taking is the name of the game. You have to do it, or else you're not a trader, you're not a profitable one for that matter. So you have to take profit. But after you take profit on the tops, you got to look for your next entry. Guys, you can't deny that this does look, you know, like a great entry scenario. Now, I know that when we start zooming in, it doesn't look the greatest on lower time frames, but big picture, guys, head and shoulder formation with follow through. I'm going to make this a bit thinner so that it's easier to see. Follow through, and we're getting that pivot point structure with bullish divergence and follow through higher highs and higher lows. And there's a lot of charts right now in the market that are looking very, very similar. The thing is that we got rejected, and it's not really, you know, the scenario that Mintlayer hit a level that was super strong of resistance. Yes, this level is important, clearly, but the reality is we're waiting for a breakout. We're waiting to see Mintlayer break out of the, you know, 17 18 cent level. Why? Because above it there's not a lot of resistance. Now, it just so happened that it coincided with the fact that Bitcoin is, you know, taking a bit of a break, you know, coming down just a bit. It's good, it's promising to see that Ethereum is holding strong right now. Ethereum is pretty much neutral, which is good, but Mintlayer is taking more of a hit. Of course, its market cap is a lot smaller. Now, there's something that we got to be aware of, is that unlocks do happen, and when the bullish momentum is in full force, unlocks get bought up real quick, and you know, the demand outperforms the supply. However, the Mintlayer unlock that is supposed to happen, I think, on the 21st of every single month, could be a scenario right now. It could be a scenario where people are front running that idea, basically front running the unlock and preparing their portfolio accordingly, earlier than later, which is fine. That's fine. Now, if we start zooming in and start looking at lower time frames, we can see that we broke the 4-hour trend line on the 4-hour, right? Multiple touches, and we broke the trend. Now, there's a couple of things that we need to consider here. The market tends to want to flush individuals out. Number one, could this be just a quick liquidity hunt, a stop hunt, something that just flushes, you know, over leveraged individuals and flushes people out of the market? Possible. Is this a weak spot? Clearly, it looks like a weak spot. You can see that if as I introduce more price action to the left, it doesn't look like it. But if you look at what's happening here after this dip, where potentially these people got wrecked and capitulated, and you start looking at what's happening just in this price action, you're going to see a bit of a concave space, and it looks like we're trying to trek to this level to hunt a bit of liquidity, which is still possible, guys, that we come down to this green arrow. Green arrows on my charts mean those are levels of interest. Those are levels where we might want to, you know, act upon. And now, if we do come down here, it might be a good opportunity, but I know people are going to be super bearish because we broke this trend. Clearly, we broke the trend. And this structure that we had here, which was at one point a nice bullish bull flag type of structure, in fact, broke down bearish. And it broke down to the downside. Remember, it is a game of probability. There's no certainties in any type of trading strategy or anything like that. All we want to do is get an edge and stay one step ahead to prepare ourselves with an appropriate plan. Now, ultimately, we start looking at this and we start to say to ourselves, okay, a dip down, up, and another dip down. Is it just an ABC retracement? Could be that we do get something like that, or is it just going to be a just a hunt or a swing failure where we get a nice V recovery back to the upside, get back in structure, back test and spring? It could happen, guys. And these types of this type of price action, essentially, these swing failure patterns, they're liquidity hunts, they're stop hunts, places of which, you know, the market inflicts a ton of pain right before it gets a really bullish reversal structure. When we start looking at a shoulder, a potential head, maybe a back test, a spring, and we start looking at a diagonal inverse head and shoulder, and we start moving to the upside, breaking previous highs. If you think about it, this would be the optimal opportunity to get everybody out of the market that is over leveraged and over positioned, and those weak hands out of the market before we start rewarding people, individuals that are taking risk at the appropriate time. Now, I don't want to sound too bullish when I see this, but the reality is this is not the end of Mintlayer. I would like to see a bullish response. Why? Because the bullish response might bring the price action back into structure. Right now, all we saw is a bearish response. That's fine. That's fine. We saw multiple very strong bearish responses making lower lows and lower highs. But if you look at the entire structure, we're making higher highs and higher lows. So we want to see a bullish response. Even if the bullish response is just to come back to the previous highs, at least you can decide, you know what, I'm taking profit, I'm reducing my position size, I'm trailing up a stop loss, something like that. You shouldn't be exiting on massive red candles the same way you shouldn't be entering on massive green candles. It's the same logic, because on the way down, we might get a bullish response. Fine, we might even backtest the breakdown and get rejected and make another lower high. This is your time to get out or de-risk or protect yourself. But what about if we get back above, like I'm saying? So we at least give the charts an opportunity to get a bullish response, and then we can prepare accordingly. Okay, so that's that. Let's take a look at the momentum. You can see that we're already overbought on momentum right into here. The purple line is already in oversold. Sorry, not overbought, oversold. It's already in the oversold state. The expansion down here, look at this expansion. Okay, and then follow along with me here, this expansion right here. Okay, I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. As you can see, this is a lower low, but look at the expansion. Look at this expansion. And look at that expansion. This expansion is weaker than this one, but the price action fell harder. Class A bullish divergence. Okay, that's what we're looking at there right now. Now, I would have loved to see divergence in the momentum, which is the purple line, but it's not giving it to us at the current moment. But the purple line at least is oversold, and volatility line, which is the orange line, is also oversold. If at any moment we start to see some sort of pivot, some sort of reversal, and we see the purple line start to move to the upside and get above the yellow line, which is the moving average, we can essentially start to think that we're looking for a trend reversal, a reversal of this momentum to the upside, okay, instead of continuing down. From this level right here on the 4-hour, all we did was come down, okay? Is it time to start moving up? You know, like that. And if we can trade the volatility to the upside, and every time we get a reset to go long, every time reset, go long, right? And we're trending, we're basically trading with or alongside the trend to the upside. It could be that eventually we get that reversal down here as well, and we start moving back to the upside. At this current moment, guys, just understand it is absolutely fine to be neutral. It's still bearish, but neutral. You don't have to act upon, setups that are not really giving you that conviction. At the current moment, we do see that the trend on the 4-hour EMAs are facing down. Look at the trend oscillator here. You can see the expansions are definitely weakening, and we do see the EMAs getting back into the bearish control zone here on the 4-hour. Not a good look. We are definitely getting some divergence here as well, which I appreciate, so we can potentially, make that reversal. But again, we're talking about the 4-hour. So let the 4-hour finish its move to the downside, as you can see, where now maybe we can start getting bullish to the upside eventually. I want to get into the daily here quick. As you can see, the daily is also looking very, very bullish. You can see how quickly we can change sentiment from daily and 4-hour. The 4-hour is looking bearish, but the 4-hour is going to get done with soon. It's going to finish its trajectory, its path. It's going to hit its target, but you can't deny the daily. Look at this, guys. Daily momentum of the trend is definitely pushing to the upside. We did get the bearish divergence, and this is why we're getting a 4-hour shift to the downside. We're getting EMAs to the downside. We're getting red histogram bars. But when that is over on the 4 hour, I want to see the daily response. I want to see the daily trend continue to the upside, where we can get into the bullish control zone, as we have done in the past. We were bearish significantly here on the daily. Let's be patient so that we can get that shift into the bullish side of things and expand to the upside. Okay, so let's get those charts back up. So you can see how we can also be bearish on a lower time frame, but still be bullish on the bigger time frame. The bigger time frame still bullish. On the shorter time frame, guys, guess what I'm gonna have to say? You got to buy the dip. You're gonna have to have some conviction. If we get down closer to the green arrow, slowly accumulate, because that could be another right shoulder. Maybe this wasn't the right shoulder. Maybe it wasn't. The reality is, maybe it wasn't. Maybe the right shoulder is going to be here. And now that I put it like that, it starts to look possible. It starts to look very possible that the right shoulder could be built right into this level, and then we start looking at this as the shoulder and this as the right shoulder, and we're ready to launch. After that, breaking the previous highs, the neckline, and getting into the weak spot of the chart right above. Guys, if I've offered you any value in this video, do the channel a massive favor. Slap the like button. It does really help out with the algorithm. If you want to follow me on the socials, the links are in the description below. Feel free to join the Discord, guys. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. Guys, join me live tonight at 8 p.m. EST. It is a great time and place to make those requests, basically covering any projects that you want me to cover. I'll be doing it and putting it in top priority. Take care, guys. Have a good one. And don't forget, buy the dip.